This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. There are serious new questions tonight about security at a top U.S. nuclear weapons facility. It's the Los Alamos laboratory in New Mexico, rocked by a separate security and spy investigation 4 years ago. This time, there are allegations the lab has bungled and covered up a new investigation by punishing the very people who turned up wrongdoing. CBS's Cheryl Atkinson has exclusive insider interviews for this report.
Next page.
Investigators Glenn Walp and Stephen Doran were hired by Los Alamos Weapons Lab earlier this year, in part to make sure equipment and research that could help America's enemies didn't just walk out the door. They quickly uncovered stunning security lapses.
It was obvious that time we were dealing with major criminal investigation concerning major thefts at the lab.
They uncovered millions of dollars in stolen and missing items, a forklift, hundreds of computers, some from the top secret X division, a cryogenic refrigerator, oscilloscopes, materials that in theory could be used in a weapons program by rogue nations like Iraq and North Korea. They also found lab workers using government credit cards like personal blank checks.
We found literally thousands of items that had been purchased that were, unauthorized.
Diamond necklace, diamond earrings, diamond bracelet.
Refrigerators, VCRs, television sets.
They began working with the FBI, and agents recently searched the home of 2 lab workers allegedly caught red-handed with spy gear, lockpicks, and keys to secret lab locations. But the more Walp and Doran uncovered, the more they say lab managers tried to cover up, worried more about keeping the security problems quiet.
Both Steve and I were told emphatically that we were not allowed to communicate with the FBI.
The University of California, which runs Los Alamos, says it's seen no evidence of any compromise to national security, and it's cooperating with outside probes into charges that senior management covered up and interfered with investigations. As for why the 2 investigators would be fired just as they began to scratch the surface, the lab only says, quote, they weren't a good fit. Walp and Doran say there's no telling how many people have committed crimes or how long it's gone on. That's what they were working to find out. The Energy Department and FBI continue investigating, but now without the help of the 2 investigative insiders who may have been able to uncover the most. Dan?
Cheryl Atkinson in Washington. News has long investigated accusations of security lapses and fraud at this country's top nuclear weapons research facility, the Los Alamos laboratory in New Mexico. Tonight, new allegations of fraud and cover-up in this investigation follow-up by CBS's Cheryl Atkinson.
As Los Alamos struggles to rescue its reputation as steward of America's nuclear weapons, 2 whistleblowers who first spoke to CBS News testified before Congress today. Glenn Walp and Steve Doran were employed as lab investigators when they uncovered stunning security violations and millions of dollars in theft and fraud. They say lab managers wanted it all covered up and fired them when they refused. Now they're questioning the lab's promise to make wholesale changes. No prosecutions.
None. No prosecutions.
No arrests.
No arrests.
No indictments.
No indictments.
But they say no one at the lab seems interested in doing that. There's been no move to prosecute 2 other workers allegedly caught red-handed with spy gear, keys to secret lab locations, and who bought tens of thousands of dollars in personal fishing and camping gear at taxpayer expense. And internal documents show that as recently as last month, questionable buys by lab employees continued from places like a pharmacy and bookstores. One employee even ordered ballet music CDs. Taxpayers put in an extra charge for 2-day rush delivery. Though several federal probes are underway, Doran and Walp have yet to be interviewed by any law enforcement officials, making them question just how thorough the investigations can be. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Washington.